All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to No Final Bell. It's going to be a big week. Of course, we're recording when, this current week's Dynamite's happening. We'll, of course, recap that next week. This week, we'll recap AEW from Rochester. What a big show.
Yeah, that was an amazing show.
Title did change hands. We're not going to let you know which title until after NWA and
Yes.
Impact. But before we get to that, it was a hell of a great show. Dynamite and Rampage in Rochester. I will say, we were both there. If anybody else was there, you definitely know it was a great show.
Yes.
I think it was better the second time around than the first time around they were in Rochester, to be honest with you. I mean, here and
Debatable.
there. Yeah.
Debatable. Because
Yeah,
like
of
a
course,
lot of the stars from the first time weren't there the second time.
Right. Because a lot of them are hurt right now,
But
too.
also, they made up for it with the stars that they do have.
Right, they did. And honestly, viewership-wise on TV was actually not that bad.
Yes.
It actually won in the demographic for 18 to 49.
Well, that's another thing, too. The second time, we were actually able to, like, not stay, but, like, witness Dark Elevation.
Yeah, I mean, we would have put that down, but it wasn't that great. It was very boring.
See,
if there's any match we want to talk about, it's definitely the last match on Elevation there.
Yeah.
The Best Friends versus The Factory. That was actually a really good match.
It was a
really
very
good match.
Very good main event for Dark Elevation, which happened this past
Makes
Monday.
me wonder why that wasn't on the main show. Because,
I mean, they kind of like book, but no. So the last time also we couldn't watch Dark or Dark Elevation before. Like we only caught like maybe a match or two before Dynamite on Dark Elevation before the start of the main show, but I did actually go back and see, like on YouTube, to see some of the matches that we may have missed, which there were a good handful, but the majority of the matches we did see in Rochester on Dark Elevation, like Chris Statlander, she competed, but so.
Right. So, of course, now we will go to NWA and Impact talks.
We start out the night. Before any official introduction, we just jump right into the action. We have a triple threat match to determine number one contender for the World Television title between AJ Kazana, Josias, and Odinson of the End. And Odinson wins, shockingly enough. So Odinson will get his television title match at some point, possibly NWA 74. We'll have to see. Speaking of NWA 74, Homicide wants to give Kerry Morton a shot at the NWA Junior Heavyweight title at NWA 74. Will he accept? We'll have to wait and see. Then we go to Aaron Stevens backstage with May Valentine. He says that he may be retired from in-ring competition, but he says you'll still be able to see his face in the NWA. I mean, he is now, I guess technically you could say he is now a manager, as the last time you saw him, he accompanied Rodney Mack to the ring. So then we have in-ring action with Trevor Murdoch and Thrillbilly Silas. Trevor Murdoch beats Thrillbilly Silas. Then they go to the podium. Trevor's talking with Kyle Davis. Pope comes out to congratulate Trevor Murdoch, but it seems Trevor does not want any thanks from the Pope. Pope extended his hand. Trevor Murdoch just walked away. So, and then we get backstage. Allison Kay and Kylan King want to have a match to determine a number one contender to Camille and her NWA Women's Championship. We'll see what happens with that. Then we get to more in-ring action with Kerry Morton and Jay Bradley. Kerry Morton beats Jay Bradley. And the big announcement at the end of the show, Billy Corgan coming out, what is his big announcement? He announces a Race to the Chase tournament to crown a new number one contender to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. The winner will face Trevor Murdoch for the belt at NWA 74. And one of the matches announced for the tournament, Tim Storm versus Nick Aldis. Now, this is a big one because Tim Storm initially lost a match 3 years ago against Nick Aldis, where the stipulation was that Tim Storm could no longer challenge for the 10 pounds of gold. But Billy Corgan has now lifted that ban. So, it is official. Race for the Chase. Tim Storm can challenge for the 10 pounds of gold if he wins the Race to the Chase tournament. That is NWA. We get into Impact, and we start off the night with an X Division Championship match. Speedball laid out the open challenge. Who answers? Number 5 of the Dark Order, formerly number 5 of the Dark Order, Allin Angels, stepped up to the plate, faced Speedball Mike Bailey in a very back and forth decent match. Speedball retained. After the match, VBD beats down Angels and Speedball. They call out Josh Alexander, but Eric Young comes out, and it seems that Eric Young and VBD have some tensions. Then we get backstage. Honor No More are talking with PCO. They will not accept failure as an option with PCO. He's been showing signs that he's more to himself, PCO. Honor No More wants to make sure that PCO is still Honor No More. Next week, Chelsea Green will face Mickie James, and everyone is banned from ringside in that match, as well as the main event match that happened later that night between Deonna Purrazzo and Mia Yim. Everyone was banned from ringside. Then we get to in-ring action. Trey Miguel beats Laredo Kid. After that, we get backstage. Doring and Dieter are after Josh Alexander and beat down the Motor City Machine Guns backstage. Josh is found, and he goads BBD into wanting a fight and has to be separate. Both teams have to be separated by security. Then we get a video package. Killer Kelly is coming back to Impact Wrestling soon. We get backstage. James Storm is talking about reminiscing with America's Most Wanted at Against All Odds. He seems to have unfinished business to attend to, and that unfinished business will come next week with James Storm taking on Steve Macklin. We get back to in-ring action. PCO takes on Black Taurus. PCO beats Black Taurus, and after the match, Heat. We got some stuff with Honor No More and everybody and Decay, but then Heat comes in, hits a sneak attack on one of the members of Honor No More, that being Kenny King. And next week we also have Bullet Club versus Honor No More has been announced. And more backstage with Bhupinder Gujjar. He wants a title shot against Brian Myers and the digital media title. I mean, that's the thing. I look at it too, is like, they are really trying with the digital media championship. Like, it started out great with Jordan Grace, like, having it, and even then, like, with Matt Cardona having it. Matt Cardona having the digital media championship made the most sense because at the same time, it's like, he's the one that created the internet championship. Digital media championship, internet championship, they kind of like co-align with each other. So now it seems that like the prestige of that champion, but that's the thing too, there really wasn't that much prestige with that championship as it is. So, but the value, I should say, of the championship has started to go down, and it just sucks. But that's been Impact / TNA's like demise with trying to create a secondary championship besides the X Division title. Moving on. Rich Swann beats Shira, and then Gazelle Shaw seems to be on thin ice with the influence. Next week, Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary travel to the Undead Realm in search of Havoc. Also next week, Tennille Dashwood versus Masha Slamovich, and I hate to break it to you, Tennille, but Masha's gonna kill you. Also next week, Violent by Design versus Motor City Machine Guns and Josh Alexander. And in the main event, Mia Yim beat Deonna Purrazzo to become the #1 contender to the Knockout World Championship and will challenge Jordynne Grace at Emergence. Jordynne Grace comes down. She wants a closer look at the challenger, and there is mutual respect for now. I really do see potentially a heel turn for Jordynne Grace in Impact Wrestling. I mean, after all, well, actually, I'll save that. There's we'll get into that, but it involves Jordynne Grace's husband.
Right.
It happened in Rochester.
We have actually a few heel turns that have happened in Rochester. One that happened on Dynamite, and one that happened on Rampage. You just have to figure out when we get to that time which one happened on Dynamite and which one happened on Rampage. Of course, we'll tell you.
We're here to discuss all of that.
But we might have to kill you. No, just kidding.
Well.
We start off the night. 6 feet underground.
Don't tell Undertaker.
Yeah,
or
right.
Darby Allin.
Oh, I know.
For that matter.
Of course, we start off shockingly with the TNT title match.
What a way to start off Dynamite.
I was blown off. You know, I said it all along. I knew who was going to win. If you watched previous episodes, I told you exactly who was going to win, and that's exactly what happened. Well, we'll get to it. You know, we had Warlow and Scorpio Sky.
Yes.
The crowd were crazy for Warlow. Warlow. Like, yes. People were chanting for Warlow the whole entire time. We had some people by us that thought, oh no, Scorpio's going to retain. No, the title's not going to change hands.
Nah, man.
Well, let me tell you something.
You haven't watched
Rochester's the city for the TNT Championship, and let me tell you something. That title, no matter how many times they go to Rochester, is going to change hands. Oh, yes.
Rochester is synonymous for TNT title changes.
And Tony Khan also came out beforehand, which, you know, of course, nobody sees that kind of stuff. He came out and said Rochester is one of our favorite cities to go to.
Hey, we love Tony Khan.
And let me tell you something, Tony, we love you too.
Yeah. And we will be back in Buffalo.
New York City in general loves you. And I see that you do go to New York City quite a bit. I love it. I mean, Long Island.
Yes. Long Island,
Buffalo,
Rochester. They're coming back to Arthur Ashe Stadium for Dynamite and Rampage Grand Slam.
Right. So, of course, it was supposed to be a street fight, but it didn't have that street fight type of feel to it.
Yeah, they only used one weapon, if you can even call that a weapon.
Yeah,
the title.
The title, but I feel like the ref was also kind of distracted. Maybe it was originally supposed to be a street fight, but they like, let's just change our mind, have it the first night.
I don't know. Either way, there was, it kind of defeated the whole appeal of street fight.
You know, Scorpio Sky, I really did think, you know, with American Top Team was actually in Rochester, too, accompanying Scorpio Sky.
I don't know who, the members, they probably mentioned it on commentary. We haven't watched the replay back on, our DVR. But, needless to say, from the looks of it in the crowd, it looked like at least one of them was recognizable, and I do believe that was Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, though.
It looked like it.
Don't quote me on that.
But, other than that, yes, Warlow is now your new TNT champion.
I'll tell you what, man, the Rochester crowd around us was red hot for Wardlow becoming TNT champion.
Oh, I called it. I knew it was going to happen. I'm like, it's going to be the second time in a row that you're going to see the TNT title change hands in Rochester, and damn it, was I right. Wardlow deserves it. Yes. I hope this is a pillar for him to move up after the world title. I'm sure he's going to keep the TNT title and make it relevant and stuff like that. I really hope so. I'm really hoping that's what's going to happen. as far as if it's going to be a gateway for him for the world title, yeah, you better bet your sweet ass. Tony Khan has something in Wardlow that WWE is like, wetting their pants over. Like, we wish we had this guy because we would make him a star too.
It's interesting too because he had his opportunity with a tryout. For whatever reason, WWE just didn't want him after that tryout, and I'm sure they're looking at him now and seeing him as the TNT champion now, and it's like, we screwed up.
Yeah, I will say, I think most of the talent that's currently in AEW, now that they're doing bigger, better things there, I bet you WWE's like, well, maybe if we were a little bit more pro wrestling than sports entertainment, we might have something with these guys. And the problem is with WWE, they're way too sports entertainment, and that's a little too much for a lot of these pro wrestling, indie darling superstars too.
Okay. To be fair, Cody Rhodes is like maybe one exception to like a pro wrestler that's in a sports entertainment company.
Right. So, I mean, he's making it work, but right now, congratulations to Warlow. You did beat Scorpio Sky, becoming TNT champion, first ever championship in AEW as well. So, congratulations on that. Hopefully, you can make it relevant and bring back the open challenges.
Hopefully, it is the first of many.
I'm hoping so, too. The next one that happened, which was kind of weird, Mark Sterling wants, for whatever reason, Swerve Strickland to be removed from the building.
Yeah,
but
he had a petition. So far.
He had a petition to try to get him banned from the building, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, so I believe he's even gone so far as to make a GoFundMe. He's even gone so far as to make a GoFundMe as he calls it PASS. I think it's Petition Against Swerve Strickland. I believe that's what it's called. And it's an official GoFundMe. You can actually find it. So, and I think there have been some people that have actually signed the petition.
Crazy.
Think it's probably all like, Sterling's friends or whatever, but
so going forward, we get Luchasaurus and Christian Cage. Of course, we talked about it, how they're now together, heel.
Oh man, those chants of asshole at Christian Cage were just
yes, they were. So they come out, talk about why they turned their back on Jungle Boy. And then Matt Hardy comes out and calls him the NJ of being an asshole, and that's how when the asshole chants started up. Said the Jungle Boy respected him, and he turned his back on him. Used him to make money, but Matt Hardy says he's one to talk because he did the same thing to the Andrade Hardy family office when he turned his back on them with Jeff Hardy. Says his life has been up and down and doesn't want anyone else to be used. We know your life has been up and down. Your brother's currently in jail, for DWI yet again. Out here because of his ego,
The one line I think now I'm starting to remember. I think actually what triggered the asshole chant was the fact that Christian Cage is like, oh man, you're sounding so crazy. You're almost making Jeff sound like the sober one.
that. See, Christian Cage is.
I heard that I heard that live, and the entire time I was just like, wow.
Yeah, he also claims
he went there.
Yeah, he did go there. He has been going there, even with Jungle Boy. I thought, oh, they have enough room to make up some matches on Rampage. I think we're gonna see Jungle Boy team up with somebody that no, we did not get Jungle Boy at all. I was very disappointed because this was the opportunity. Maybe Jungle Boy is hurt and they're waiting, like hurt, but like waiting to like for the right opportunity for him to go out there.
You're saying it's possibly a kayfabe injury.
I think so. I think he's just written off of TV for right now, building up something. I think eventually you're going to see Matt Hardy and Jungle Boy going up against Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. Because right now, you're kind of not really doing anything with Jungle Boy. To have a split from Luchasaurus absolutely makes kind of no sense. But to team Jungle Boy up with Matt Hardy, then you got something there till Jeff Hardy comes back, which, to be honest, I don't think he really should come back to pro wrestling after everything that's been up with him. I think he should stay retired, be with your family.
I agree.
You know, of course, this is bad for me. It's bad for me to say.
Yeah.
Probably until you freaking do it again, but you know.
Well, see, I was just about to say, because I think what's really like making him go to like drinking and whatever is the tough road schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only does he do AEW, he's also a musician that tours. So
right.
I think it's the grueling road schedule of like doing music on top of doing pro wrestling that's really taking a toll on him.
To get back on topic, Christian Cage claims he's the hottest wrestler on AEW. Says his brother isn't the one that's a disgrace. He is. Then Matt Hardy gets thrown into the table by Luchasaurus.
The timekeeper's table.
Yeah. Crazy. I really did think when he got thrown through the table, we were going to get, oh shit, Jungle Boy's probably going to come out and like help out, you know. But
we really thought that Jungle Boy was...
It was the best opportunity. Tony Khan, you messed up there. You could have, you know, you're the head of creative. You could have been like, Jungle Boy, go out there and, you know, start up a feud here. Set up a match for Rampage, but it didn't happen. Of course, you know, anything could happen. Fyter Fest day 1, day 2. And usually fight for the Violence afterwards, so hopefully something will arise with that. Of course, it's rumored that they're going to announce the next pay-per-view. We already know what the next damn pay-per-view is. It's freaking All Out.
Yeah.
If you see the fucking banner that's been up there every single pay-per-view, every single event after, even with Forbidden Door, there's been the AEW All Out sign up there.
Yeah.
Even though it was there for Rochester, we were literally sitting right behind it. So we know exactly what pay-per-view is next. It's All Out. Just announced it already. It's happening Sunday, September 4th.
In which 3 days after that, they are heading to Buffalo.
Yes, Buffalo, September 7th for the first time in KeyBank Center. We will be buying tickets for that.
Oh, yeah.
Probably getting as close as possible this time around.
Well, you know, if you can,
maybe in the 100s, if anything, but it'd be nice. Going forward, speaking of, that's cool. Speaking of a match that's going to be happening on Fyter Fest Day 1, Claudio Castagnoli and Jake Hager will face next week. Thoughts on that one? We get to see We the People.
Oh yeah, people were chanting that big time at Blood and Guts.
Yeah, so
when they had their little,
so we had some long time storytelling here with both of these men. Do you think that this was something that Tony Khan's like, I remember these guys from the WWE days. Now let's have them in AEW facing up against each other.
Well, see,
I'm gonna say it. It would be funny as hell if they somehow got what's his name into AEW, and you have them back together as a tag team.
No, do not get Dutch Mantel in AEW. We do not need Zeb Coulter.
Of course, he wouldn't be called Zeb Coulter because that's owned by WWE.
He'd be Dirty Dutch Mantel.
I'm sorry, nothing against like AEW. They definitely have their sports entertainment times. That would be something that Tony Khan would be the ultimate genius to somehow have them team up again.
Well, hey, but Chris Jericho said it best. We the people sucked, and it's dead and buried. It was a stupid idea from bad creative.
Exactly. So, who knows? Hopefully, I would love to see Claudio do his own thing separate from Jake Hager, but
something tells me that's the road that they're heading towards, which isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, it's like, they do what they want to do, man.
Right. So, man, I tell you. So, speaking of the reason why the viewership was so good, was it because of this next match, actually. Swerve in their glory and the Butcher and the Blade was the real reason why Dynamite did so well on TV for the week. In general, garnished the most viewership at that time. Which, hearing that, I was like, really? You have not seen the Butcher and the Blade on TV for very long, and that somehow is what draws the viewership? I hate to say it, Tony. You might need to start booking the Butcher and the Blade because they might be your draw in the tag team for the show going forward.
It's possible.
Honestly, it's not even a bad thought.
But
yes,
hey,
you had the Young Bucks, who are the biggest draw for the tag team division, but you might need to start doing more with the Butcher and the Blade if they're garnishing the viewership. Don't get me wrong, I think Fyter Fest is going to garnish it with a triple threat ladder match, which we will get to that soon, of who's going to be in it. But Swerve in the Glory beat Butcher and the Blade, which
they're practically the hometown favorites, too, because they are from Buffalo, which, speaking of that, I do expect them to be booked for the show in Buffalo.
They better be booked. And you're going to see a lot of fans. If they
don't go down with an injury before then, which, please don't let that happen, because
I was very disappointed with the chance. There was no whose house, Swerve's house.
Oh, there was. It was just few. I was trying to start it too, and even then, there were people behind me saying Swerve's house. I was doing the whose house, so.
Yeah, and then there was no Keith Lee.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised there were no
Keith Lee.
or even oh, bask in his glory. Oh, bask in his glory.
I will say I love the Rochester crowd because there was, during Rampage, this is awesome chants, but we don't really, us as fans of Rochester don't really get as involved as, other crowds. We're not very, pro wrestling, kind of
I can agree with
city,
that.
And it sucks because
it does suck.
I mean, I feel like there was it felt full for what it was. Of course,
there were actually less people this time around than I dare say the first time around.
Yeah,
the first time around, I feel like it was more people there for.
This is what's leading into the triple threat tag team match. Then Team Taz come down. They say they aren't on their level. Says he will beat. Ricky Starks claims he wants to beat them down right then and there.
Dude, Starks was going hard in that promo. He's getting he's heated about he's very passionate about winning those tag team titles. Man.
And then the Young Bucks come out and say they are the best tag team. We already know this. And say they couldn't even beat Jurassic. Any of those teams couldn't even beat Jurassic Express, and they're not wrong. They couldn't even beat them for the tag team titles.
Yeah.
Almost makes me wonder why they're getting a tag team title shot against the Young Bucks. They say next week we will see the tag titles on line. Yeah. Thoughts? Triple threat tag team match for the.
That's the thing about Team Taz being inserted in that. It's sometimes the rankings don't really make a lot of sense because that's what led to Marina Shafir getting a TBS title opportunity against Jade Cargill, even though she's only ever competed on Dark. Is what?
I know we stated it before that I don't think the ranking system should be
here's the
going up or down depending on what happens in Dark or Dark Elevation.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say it works to a degree, And when it works well
Mm-hmm.
because, like, you actually have those prominently used people on, like, Dynamite and Rampage that are part of the rankings. But
Right.
then there's also, like you mentioned, those people that are competing on Dark and Dark Elevation that are, like, going up the ranks. It's like that makes
So for
literally
this
zero
match,
sense.
as much as I would love to see somebody different win the tag team titles, I'm seeing the Young Buck. I'm saying I really do think the Young Bucks are going to retain here. I don't
I
think
don't
it's the.
know,
I
man.
don't know
I
if it's
kind
the
of think
right.
they're going to be transitional champions.
I don't think it's the right time for them to give out the titles to Swerve and Glory or to Team Taz. To be honest with you, I just don't think it's the right time. If there's any team that I think that deserve the tag team titles right now, it's Swerve and Glory. But they've had their moments. They've had their moments where they don't know if they're gelling very well together. I'm seeing some like I feel like there's gonna be some dissension between Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee soon. I don't know who's gonna be the one that turns heel. I'm thinking more Swerve than Keith. I don't think we're ever gonna really see a heel Keith Lee, to be honest with you.
He's too much of a lovable baby face, Keith Lee.
Yeah, so I
So
don't see.
yeah, well, not to mention Swerve before he even went to AEW when he was in WWE, like before even like joining the during the time that he was on the main roster, that little bit of time,
Hmm.
basically when Swerve was a part of Hit Row, he was a heel. And he was a good heel at that too when he was in Hit Row. So I can certainly see a heel side of Swerve Strickland.
That's why if I feel like if there's gonna be any team that might win, it could be Team Taz. But I just don't think they've done a lot to just even be the tag team champions right now. So that's why I feel like it's gonna be Young Bucks. Yeah, I think that both teams deserve the opportunity to go at the tag team titles. Just saying, like, I just don't know if they're like the biggest draw if they were to win the tag team titles, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
So going forward, Eddie Kingston comes down and says he's ready to talk about the Blood and Guts victory, which congratulations to the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
I figured they were going to win. I think I actually called that they were going to win the Blood and Guts match, like when it was happening, that
Yeah.
Jericho Appreciation Society
Needless
will
to
win, but
say,
I think Blackpool Combat Club will win Blood and Guts.
needless to
It did
say,
happen.
Jericho and both of his factions that he's been in with Blood and Guts have been 0-2 in
Yeah,
Blood and Guts
on the
matches.
losing side. But he didn't actually congratulate Warlow too for winning the tag team title. Congratulates to
The
everyone on
TNT.
the winning team, even Claudio,
Yep.
which I'm sure that was hard for him to have.
See, I'm maturing. I'm a grown man. I'm an adult. We can do things.
Wants to call out Chris Jericho and wants to make Chris bleed. Then Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society,
Or
everybody.
backstage
Then they
in the parking lot.
yeah, they're backstage in the parking lot, and they close Ruby Soho's arm in the car. Could we see them fight soon? Yes, we will see them fight soon. Night 2 of Fighter Fest,
Barbed
wire
death
death match. Yes.
Not exploding.
So guess what, Eddie? You want to see Chris Jericho bleed? You're gonna get it. You're gonna see Chris Jericho probably bleed. You're probably gonna see Eddie Kingston bleed. It's gonna be one hell of a main event too, I think.
It's not an exploding barbed wire death match, so
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tony Khan doesn't want to get embarrassed by that again.
well, not to mention don't go in expecting like, oh yeah, it's gonna be some big explosion at the end, and it's literally just sparklers.
Right.
And everybody just looks and go, and it's basically the Krusty the Clown meme. What the hell is that?
So going forward, Dark Order, everybody come out, even -1. Is here, says Dark Order is Rochester. Thanks all of us for supporting them. I thought they were gonna honestly say that they were breaking up. Well, nope.
They're
Completely
here to
opposite.
stay.
They are here to stay. Dark Order's forever. Then the Dark Order with Hangman Page beat down QT Marshall. It was a nice thing to see in Rochester, and also chanting Brodie afterwards. Brody Lee would be very proud to see that his son is taking on his name. He also said, "I would love to beat you down, but I have to wait till I'm 19," which possibly teasing that he could become a wrestler around that age. That'd be cool.
I mean, he's already got that contract, which pretty much guarantees that when he turns 18, that he's going to have a spot in AEW. But, who knows what the direction of AEW will be by the time that -1 turns 18.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to still be in good standing order.
I'm not saying that, it wouldn't be, but at the same time, it's who knows, who's still going to be there by the time he turns 18. Who knows, that's what I mean. And I'm not trying to say that, WWE will overtake AEW. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, who knows what the direction of who knows where the direction of AEW will go in that span of time.
So,
they're red hot right now, and I'm sure they'll stay that way. But like I said, we can't predict the future.
Right, we actually get a debuting Roosh against Penta
El Toro Blanco.
Yes, against Penta El Ciro Miedo. Oscuro, yes, Oscuro, which basically means Penta Black.
Pentagon Dark.
Okay, Pentagon Dark.
Although it's not the true Pentagon Dark from Lucha Underground. I wish we could get that. But...
So, Roosh, in his debut, actually beats Penta, which I was quite shocked about.
But it was a distraction on the outside.
Yeah, for the distraction on the outside. It was from, I'm pretty sure, Andrade, I think, if I remember correctly.
It was either Andrade or Jose the Assistant. Which, funny enough, too, Jose the Assistant and Alex Abrahantes got into a scrap.
Oh, yeah, actually, I don't think it was from... It wasn't from... It was from... I'm pretty sure it was Andrade that had the distraction on the outside. It was not from Jose, because Alex Abrahantes, which... You better book that damn match, Tony. Book them together.
Book that match. Alex Abrahantes versus Jose the Assistant.
I'm pretty sure Jose the Assistant used to be a wrestler. As far as Alex Abrahantes, I have no idea. But, I would like to see them wrestle. I think they would be a nice match, one-off match to see happen.
There's your sports entertainment for the day.
Right, exactly. So,
and see, we joke about it all the time, but it's here's the thing. If you only do it, for a little bit of, if you only have, a little bit of sports entertainment in the show, it, to differentiate from the entirety of, the product and, the show in general, then if it works, great. If it doesn't, then you know not to do it again.
Right. So, so Roosh does get the win against Penta there. Going forward, Gun Club and the Acclaimed, which, by the way, the Acclaimed go, yo.
They were about to rap.
Austin Gunn takes the microphone off.
Ooh, that man.
I think it was either Austin. Yeah. Okay, Austin takes the mic out of Max Caster's hand.
What a heel.
Yeah, what a fucking heel. There.
I wanted to hear Max Caster rap.
Yeah, so did I.
We were robbed.
We were robbed from Rochester. We should have got the rap. It's probably best we didn't, because I bet you're going to talk shit about Rochester. It was probably going to be a lot of well, I don't think so, but it was definitely going to be a lot of controversial stuff, I'm sure, because that's what Max Caster does when he raps. Right, exactly. So, even after everything that happened with Gun Club and the Acclaimed, they actually do beat Bear Country, Leon Ruff, and Fuego del Sol. And then after the match, shockingly or not...
First of all, Billy Gunn, shoved his boys down again, which,
I thought he was going to line himself for the Acclaimed. Then Anthony Bowens is doing this.
And Billy Gunn just looks at him, he's like, suck this, bitch! And he gives them the famouser.
Aligns himself with the Suns. What's next? Yeah,
Never trust a gun.
you better bet your sweet ass you're going to see the Gun Club against the Acclaimed, which I did call that happening.
Better yet, don't ever turn your back on a smoking gun.
Yes.
And even then, don't turn your back on a son of a gun, or even sons of a gun.
I'm honestly shocked that that's actually not their team name, Sons of a Gun.
Sons of a Gun.
Instead of the Gun Club, but hey.
Well, hey, the Ass Boys are a better name for them anyways.
Yeah, even though they don't think so. What's next, of course, them facing up against each other, that's what's next. So Miro looks to want to go up there, go up against Malachi Black. Thoughts? Better be worried about what you wish for there, Miro, because Malachi ain't no laughing joke, no guy you want to take lightly. He is,
I mean, we can certainly expect some kicks for days between the two men.
Right.
Because, you think about Miro is trained in Muay Thai and Malachi is trained in kickboxing. So there's certainly going to be some heavy-duty striking between the two men.
Honestly, I would like this better if whoever wins gets a shot at the All-Atlantic Championship. That's what I would like.
That would be nice.
Because honestly, I hope it's not going to be like how Impact has the Digital Media Championship. This ends up being past the way to the wayside. You have more so the TNT title and the AEW title you want to worry about and focus on.
If that's the case, then what was the point of introducing the All-Atlantic
I have no idea. But I like it. I think Malachi will beat Miro, but honestly, I think it's going to be nice and something new for Miro as he's come back. It would be nice to see him progress to get into the world title picture, because I thought he wasn't going to get there, but then he was gone for that time being, and he's back now. Was in the All-Atlantic tournament, so we'll have to see what happens for this going forward. So, we get Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm. Thunderstorm against Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir. Did we expect any less than this? This is a very boring-ass match.
I knew it was going to be.
But let me tell you something. Yes, we did get Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm beating Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir.
By the way, the one thing that stood out during that match was in the crowd. People were actually doing AC/DC chant for Thunder Rosa. They were singing the riff and the people were doing Thunder.
Yeah, and Toni actually kind of did that for a little bit. So she definitely was hearing the chants and going along with it. So
she's rocking out to AC/DC in the crowd. She doesn't even need to see a show.
Right, exactly. So
Toni Storm's a rocker big time.
Yeah, she is. Toni Storm and Rosa do beat Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir. So the next two
things actually build towards the upcoming ROH pay-per-view this month.
Yeah,
Death Before Dishonor.
Yes, which will be coming up
literally a week from this Saturday.
Yeah.
So
the first one, Daniel Garcia wants to be called the best when going up against Wheeler Yuta at Death Before Dishonor. Thoughts?
For the pure title.
Yeah, for the pure championship too.
Do I see it's weird?
I see the title changing hands here. I think Daniel Garcia getting the pure championship makes a little bit more sense than having Wheeler Yuta.
I don't know, because to me, I don't really see Daniel Garcia as this pure technical wrestler. I mean, at the same time, it's I have seen a lot of Daniel Garcia's matches in AEW. For the most part, he is actually a pretty prominent technical wrestler. So it'll be interesting. It'll certainly be an interesting match, to say the least, at Death Before Dishonor. But the main
Oh,
the main thing.
We're going to see a rematch between FTR and the Briscoe brothers.
FTR and Briscoe.
Death Before Dishonor. Yes.
For the Ring of Honor Tag Team title. Run it back.
Honestly, as much as I would love to see, have them as 7-star FTR.
They already are.
I mean, of course, they're still always going to be. I'm seeing the Briscoe brothers winning back, recapturing the titles, and it makes a little bit more. It makes a little bit more sense. I mean, it would be nice to see them hold like 4 titles at once, but honestly, get away from a little bit of that gold. Let the Briscoes have those titles. Let them run wild in Ring of Honor there.
Well, see, it's interesting too because
I really do think that you're going to see FTR and Young Bucks at
All Out.
At All Out, and this time I see FTR beating the Young Bucks at All Out. I'm calling it now.
So then, if they do, would they be technically considered 8-star FTR, or would they still be 7-star?
No, they would still be 7-star because they've already won the AEW World Tag Team titles before.
They'd be a 2-time.
Yep.
They would tie.
They would tie the Young Bucks for having the most reigns as the as the tag team title champs. Yes.
In AEW.
Mm-hmm. So.
I already kind of see it happening with FTR that they're going to be like the longest reigning AAA tag team champions, but then again, I have no idea.
So going on to the main event of Dynamite, Brody King last week on Rampage got the opportunity to face off against Jon Moxley by eliminating Darby Allin. I mean, it would have been. So it would have been cool to have seen Darby Allin and Jon Moxley face off for the interim world title. Not saying that it couldn't ever happen anytime soon, but it kind of felt weird to see Brody King get the opportunity. And not saying that he didn't do a bad job in that match. They were beating the living crap out of each other. But ultimately, Jon Moxley did get the victory against Brody King to retain the interim AEW World title. I didn't expect anything different. I knew that one title was going to change hands. It was not going to be the world title.
Yeah.
Because I will say, it'd be nice to see CM Punk come back soon. But if he doesn't, who I feel like could get an opportunity at the world title right now, I forgot who is the number one contender right now for the title in the men's division. Because I think
that's a great question. I don't know myself. But regardless, Moxley beat Brody King, and then after the match.
After the match, I don't know. I think this was.
I think it was a Fight exclusive thing.
Yeah, it was
like international.
After.
Thing. Only the live crowd and
this is so we'll let you guys know.
It was on Fight TV, I know that.
And this is our insider thing because we were there in the show.
Yeah.
You didn't see this actually on Dynamite, so we're actually going to say it.
Like I said, unless you were watching it on Fight, which by the way, Fight also actually before the feed had even cut off, they were almost starting to get into Rampage. So I've seen on Twitter. People were saying, Fight is showing Rampage, they need to stop the feed. So, because you could literally see Takeshita and Eddie Kingston about to, they were getting into the ring and they were about to, do the thing before they started taping Rampage. So, yeah, which, by the way, yes, Rampage is taped.
Yes, it is. There's some
sorry to suspend your belief, people. I'm sorry. There's some
so
kayfabe is dead.
On Fight TV, and also if you were there,
in the comments,
right? On Fight TV, or if you actually saw it live, you would see that Darby and Sting came out after the match and offered their hand to Brody King.
And
he doesn't shake it at all.
I've seen the clip. Darby was telling Brody King, he's like, "Hey, you deserve this. You worked your ass off for this. This is where you're meant to be." And that's when, they offered their hand. Brody didn't take it.
What does this mean?
It means a
Honestly,
rivalry is brewing because also, after everything had happened, Brody King showed up to a Darby Allin like autograph signing, or maybe he was part of it. But either way, Brody King assaulted Darby Allin at a signing. Put him. He even put him through his signing table. So it's
crazy.
definitely a rivalry brewing between Darby and Brody King,
Yeah.
and possibly the two men, Darby Allin and Sting, versus like the House of Black.
Yeah, I honestly would be okay with that. I'm liking a nice like feud like this brewing up. But we got into the Rampage to start side of things. Eddie Kingston and
Konosuke Takeshita. Get that man some sense.
They had a great back and forth match to start off Rampage.
Now, before we go any further, fuck you, anybody that is body shaming Eddie Kingston. Seriously. Because, like, you know, it all started with, who did it start with first? The body shaming. I don't remember, but either way, I've been seeing it all over Twitter. I've been seeing it all over, like, just in general with the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community. Like, what the hell? Oh, Adam Cole. I saw it first with Adam Cole. Now we're on to Eddie Kingston. Like, seriously, people? The people that body shame Eddie Kingston are the ones that probably have the same type of body themselves. And they can't get into an actual ring and do what Eddie Kingston and Adam Cole do for a living. So, fuck you, everybody that has body shamed Adam Cole and Eddie Kingston, for that matter. Respectfully, go fuck yourselves.
Right, exactly. So, yes, Eddie Kingston does get the win there in a back and forth match to start off Rampage.
Me personally, I was actually rooting for Takeshita to get the win, but I was going to be happy.
There were some moments where you thought Takeshita would actually get the win, but no, Eddie Kingston gets the victory.
At least we can go home happy knowing that after the match, Takeshita got some Cinnabon.
Probably did.
Oh, I know he did.
So going forward,
get that man all the Cinnabon.
Of course, we know about Tully Blanchard having his group, the Gates of Agony.
Well, more importantly, he has his own brand, Tully Blanchard Enterprises.
Yes, he does. And he faces off against the team.
Mania Sports Management would like to have a word with you, Tully.
And then they go up against Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty to be for big shocking news.
We'll get into that. So what
Gates
happened
of
with that?
Agony actually beat Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty.
But before
that, Jonathan
how
Gresham,
we even got there. Lee Moriarty was looking
trying to go for the tag and
to Jonathan Gresham.
Down.
Gresham was like, "Come on, man, I got you." Nope. Hops off the apron, walks over to Tully Blanchard, shakes his hand, seemingly aligned himself with Tully Blanchard Enterprises.
Thoughts
How do we
on
feel
that?
about that? Yeah.
It's
going to be interesting to see. It's funny though because like I say, it's going to be interesting to see a heel side of Jonathan Gresham, but at the same time, it's like, in a sense, in Ring of Honor, he's always kind of been a heel. In a sense, in Ring of Honor, we just like have never really.
I think it adds a different dynamic to Jonathan Gresham that you're gonna.
There's a different. There's this time around with Gresham being a heel. It's definitely going to be different. It's definitely going to be different this time around with heel Gresham. But either way.
Yeah, so it's nice to see Gresham aligning himself with Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard, will always be remembered as being the manager of
FTR.
FTR, but
Sean Spears.
But for WWE, we forgot that. Oh no, Tully Blanchard will always be remembered. Of course, being in the Four Horsemen.
And the Brainbusters with Arn Anderson.
But yes, FTR will definitely go down. That he helped them.
He helped
win
get them
the first AEW World Tag Team title opportunity in the first place.
And I guess you could also say he kind of helped them towards the AAA Championship, but they kind of kicked them out shortly after that.
Yeah, so Tully Blanchard has done a lot.
He certainly didn't help FTR win those ROH and IWGP Tag Team titles.
No, not at all.
Sure.
I feel like they've been doing better without him than with him. So,
yeah,
I think he's
weird how that works.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Who would have thought?
Gates of Agony and Jonathan Gresham are going to be a great faction. I honestly think they're.
So, Tully Blanchard Enterprises.
But I don't think this is the end of Lee Moriarty and whoever else he tags up with.
Yeah.
Going up against him. I'm seeing a six-man tag team match heading into Death Before Dishonor, to be honest with you.
No. Who's to say it's an 8-man tag? Who's to say we don't get the last member of Tully Blanchard Enterprises, the Machine Brian Cage?
Oh, that's true, too.
Yes. Tully Blanchard Enterprises has 4 members. You have Gates of Agony, Khan and Toa Leona, Brian Cage, and Jonathan Gresham now. So it's safe to say there could be an 8-man tag, but that's the thing. Who does Lee Moriarty get to tag with him? Because we already know one of them's probably going to be Matt Sydal. Who's to say he doesn't get his brother? Yeah, I was going to say, who's to say he doesn't get his brother? And then who would be the 4th man on that team?
Oh, I am not too sure, to be honest with you.
If they even go that route of an 8-man
tag. It could be a surprise. It could be a surprise person, too.
That we wouldn't expect to, show up in, Ring of Honor or
exactly.
AEW. But, see, that's the thing, too.
Of course, Death Before Dishonor is looking to be a really good pay-per-view. You already have Samoa Joe against Jay Lethal.
Oh, yes.
You have the Briscoes versus FTR. You have
the Pure Championship being defended. More than likely, we'll get Mercedes versus Serena.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we'll just go into it. So Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez do beat some other ROH women's tag team. I couldn't call what their names were. It's not exactly the greatest sound-wise.
Doesn't even matter. I'm sorry to disrespect it, but it doesn't matter.
I think they will face each other after Deeb attacked her after the match.
Yeah, so Serena Deeb attacked Mercedes Martinez after the match.
I'm pretty sure Death Before Dishonor. I'm pretty sure you're going to see Serena Deeb face all against Mercedes Martinez for the ROH Women's World Championship.
Which, honestly, I'm okay with because, you got to do something with Serena. If it even means giving her the Ring of Honor.
Is ROH truly back, or is Tony Khan actually just using AEW as his platform to just make up the matches for the pay-per-views, and ROH will just be a pay-per-view heavy promotion, but be tied with AEW? Because if so, that's okay with me.
I think he is actually trying to relaunch the brand, though, because I've seen that him and Maria Kanellis have been talking together about wanting to relaunch the Ring of Honor women's division, which, by the way, before it had its hiatus for a few months before the start of this year, Maria actually was a prominent part of the women's creative team in Ring of Honor. So it's possible that he could be trying to relaunch the brand. Or at least if he's going to do anything, I think what he should do is, keep ROH, like you mentioned, just to periodic pay-per-views and have AEW, tied to Ring of Honor. But I feel like what you should do in the case of, the women, relaunch Women of Honor.
Probably could. But, yeah. And then we get into the Rampage main event. Orange Cassidy beats Tony Nese. We weren't too shocked there. But man, it was kind of funny to see Danhausen being Orange Cassidy's attorney there.
He gave Mark Sterling
the dick punch.
A dick punch. Yeah. Also, what was funny was seeing Mark Sterling sell the devastating kicks from Orange Cassidy.
Yes, that was hilarious on the side of the apron there. And then, of course, Danhausen cursed
Tony
Nese.
Which caused him to lose the match.
Yeah. So.
See, normally when Danhausen curses people, bad things happen to them. But in the case of Hook, he couldn't curse him.
Nope, he could just align himself with him. Which.
It seems Hook is uncursable.
Makes you think, what are they truly doing with Hook? You haven't really even seen them on Rampage or Dynamite ever since, really
they have not sent Hook, and people are pissed.
Yes, people wanted, send Hook. We heard a few, times there where, people are saying, well, send Hook. You got a little bit of Hook there, so as far as what they're really truly doing with him, I have no idea. I think they already lost, ideas of what to do with Hook.
Which is so sad because, he's a rising star in the industry. He's a rising star in the company.
Oh, I agree.
But you've already run out of ideas for him?
It does seem like it, but as far as that, everybody, we were going to conclude this episode of No Final Bell a little bit longer than we probably wanted to, but it's all right. We had a lot of good points and things to talk about this week. Of course, if you ever want to communicate with us on any kind of social media, it's down below at Tinkle Sports. Going over there, you want to follow that, please make sure to follow that. Lets us know what we're doing, how we're doing, lets your channel grow, lets our dynamic, grow, viewership going up. Make sure to, follow everything, because we don't just have this, we also have Out of Turn 4 every Tuesday at 5. We have usually Sunday Morning Tinkle every Sunday at 9 a.m. Right now we're on a hiatus until August 28th, where we'll be coming back with, what happened during preseason. The draft is during that, or the Tinkle draft is during that. If you want to join that, of course, join our Discord. You'll find out everything that you had to do with joining our Tinkle League. I'm currently the reigning champion. I plan on defending my title very well. Nobody's gonna beat me. I'm gonna make it 3 years in a row. I've already claimed it. I don't care what league it's in. I'm gonna be the champion 3 years in a row. Helping Hands champion, Tinkle League champion. It could either be Insanity or that league yet again. But I plan on doing it 3 years in a row. Of course.
Rubbing that in.
Yeah. But of course, we also have Tinkle Focus that is with Zach Carmine. I have no idea when that's really starting out. But make sure to watch our channel for that too. As always, everybody, we will catch you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.